Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make stuffed cabbage soup. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with sausage and hamburger. And I think it equals about a pound what I have here. You can add more or less, depends how much meat you like in your soup. And I chose hamburger and sausage because it really kicks up the taste. Let's break all this up. Okay, it's starting to fry up real nice now. Okay, perfect. Now we'll start adding all the ingredients. Add the beef broth, diced tomatoes, water. While that's heating up, I have a tablespoon of Worcestershire sour sauce, a tablespoon of salt, and a tablespoon of brown sugar. I'm going to put all that in here. So kick the flavor up a little bit. Okay, so now we're adding tomato sauce. So now I'm going to add the rice and the cabbage. The pan's going to be a little full. That's okay. This is a large head of cabbage. I'm going to simmer this for about, I'm going to start with 20 minutes and then see how done the cabbage is. The rice will certainly be done. Okay. Push this in to the liquid a little bit. Once it starts to simmer, I'm going to let it simmer for about 20 minutes and then we'll come back and see how the cabbage looks. And I am going to put a lid on it. Hold some of that heat in there. Okay, let's give that 20 minutes. Okay, it is done. It needs to turn down a little bit. You can cut your cabbage up in smaller pieces. Kind of it'll fall apart anyway. I think definitely I will put more rice in this. I like to see the rice and I don't really see it. So. Give it a taste, see if it needs any more seasoning. With pepper and some salt. I overdo with the salt, so you might not want too much salt. Okay, let's give it. Great on a winter's cold night. Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make the all-American chicken pot pie. I'm going to actually make a pie. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start with a stick of butter. Let that melt. I made this recipe a little bit simple. Instead of cutting up carrots and potatoes and onions and all that, I just used a vegetable soup, a 32-ounce bag of frozen vegetable. It's called vegetable soup, and it's frozen in the freezer department. So now you can cut up fresh onions, fresh carrots, all that kind of stuff. Now I did cut up potatoes, so I'm going to put the frozen vegetables, which includes potatoes, I'm going to put them in the pan, but I'm also going to put extra potatoes. I'm going to start with chicken breast. I cut it up as like in pretty small pieces. Now I doubled my recipe, and I'm going to list my recipe in the description for a single pie. Stir this around, and we're going to do this until this is all cooked. Okay, I'm stirring it around so it cooks on all sides. I'm going to season it up a little bit. I'm going to put some salt on it. You can flavor it to your taste. I'm like, kind of like a salt addict. I would put on about a half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put some pepper. Okay, that's frying up pretty good. Now this is going to cook in the oven for another 30-35 minutes. Now I'm going to add some fresh potatoes, which you don't really have to do, but I do it. These are my frozen vegetables. See, it has everything in it. Corn, potatoes, onions, beans, everything. I'm going to put that in here. Now I'm going to add chicken broth. So now I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to let it simmer for 10 minutes. Soften up some of these vegetables. Okay, so I'm going to change out my utensils because I was mixing that raw chicken. Okay, it's starting to boil. Stir it up a little bit. Then now we're going to let it simmer for about 10 minutes. And remember, you can I put a half teaspoon of salt. You put more or less, whatever amount of salt that you like. Okay, so I'm going to move this over. And we're going to stir up milk and flour almost for a thickening, so we can thicken this up a little bit so when it goes in the pie, it'll be like a gravy, like the vegetables sitting in like a gravy. So of course it's milk and flour, salt and pepper. Let's pour the milk in. The flour. Stir it. Like that. Okay, so this cooks for about 10 minutes. I have the other box open to put the tops on the pies. Flour is ready. Let's move this over. That over. Okay. Oh my gosh, okay, it's looking delicious. Look good. Beautiful colors. Okay. So I'm going to add some. So now I'm going to add some garlic. I'm going to add a little bit of cheese. You don't have to put the cheese in. Just a creation of my own. Stir all that up. Okay, so the potatoes are starchy, so it started to thicken up the broth already, but we're going to thicken it up some more. So let's add the flour and the milk. We'll cook this for about 2 minutes till it really thickens up. Okay. Stir it all around. Looking good. Looks really good. Okay, so let this cook for about 2 minutes till it gets thick, and then it's all ready to go into the pie shell. At 350, about 30-35 minutes, and then just watch how brown the top of the pie gets. And then you'll know it's ready. See how thick this is getting already? That's what you want it to do. It's a lot better than the store-bought pot pies. Looking good. Might add a little bit more salt. Give it some flavor. Some pepper. My husband's not quite the salt person, but I am to a fault. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Look at that. See how thick it's getting? Exactly what you want it to do. So I'll let it lay on for a while and let it simmer here. Oh, it's really thick now. Can you see tell what I'm talking about? Looking delicious. Okay. A few more seconds and then it'll be ready. You know what gravy looks like when you put it on your mashed potatoes? That's what this is supposed to look like. Set it to the side. Okay. Remember, I doubled the recipe, so I have 2 pie shells. Looking delicious. Okay, so I'm just going to take it and put it into the pie shell. Orange. to make sure there's enough for both. Goes in even. That'll be perfect. This will thicken up some more after you cook it in the oven. Very full. See how perfect that is? Okay, just push it down. I'm making a mess as usual. Okay, that is good. Perfect. I'm going to break this up a little bit. I am a mess maker. Okay, so now we take the pie shell out of the box. We're going to unwrap it. Doesn't matter if you're on your own roll and you get a hole in it, because you're going to poke a hole in it anyway. Just going to lay it. See how then. Right here. Do a pie crust. I just kind of push it against the glass, or whatever pan you use, metal or glass. I just tuck it down in and push it. See what I'm doing? Doesn't have to be perfect, but see how nice that does look nice though. And I could have put it on that side a little bit more, and it would have been a masterpiece, but that's okay. Now I'm going to take my fork. I'm just going to poke a bunch of holes in it. That leaves the steam out. Do the same to this one. Into the oven it goes at 350 for 30 to 35 minutes. Just keep your eye on the crust so the crust browns properly, like so it looks like delicious. Okay, I'll be back after it comes out of the oven. It took a little longer than I thought. It took almost 45 minutes. So you can tell with the crust, you can see it boiling around the edges, and then the crust, if it browns, can you see how that? Oh, let me just slip off of here. See how it looks? Gorgeous. I'm going to let it cool for a couple minutes before I cut it. Let it settle in there. And then we'll cut it and give it a test. We'll cut it and give it a test. Then we'll cut it and give it a test. Give it a try. We'll cut it and give it a try. Okay. Okay, so it's cooled down. Let's give it a try. Looking good. Crust is nice and flaky. I'm not going to take credit for that, but it's out of the box, so let's try and get that. It's going to fight me. That was so good. Come out pure and simple. So my video looks good, but it's gonna, oh look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. Get some of the juices off the bottom. I could have let it cool a little bit more, but that's okay. Let's give it a try. Simple to make. About 40 minutes in the oven. The crust is out of a box. Let me get the crust dry. Delicious. Hope you give it a try. It's delicious. I hope you give it a try. Very simple. The crust is out of a box. The vegetables are out of a bag in the frozen vegetable section. And you can add fresh potatoes and whatever. You can start working. This is really simple to make. So the crust is out of the box and the frozen vegetables are absolutely delicious. You can't even tell they're out of it. They're frozen. You have to give this a try. It is so good and so easy to make. Okay. Back with Crazy Good Foods. Please subscribe, hit the bell, the like, and ring that bell. Thank you. Please come back and see all my videos.